Okay, after a bit of a rough start to the morning, we're on the road to Mount Takai with Mr. Royazaki of Mitchell Core and Mr. Koichi Yotsui of Strider, and this is me recording, and this is my cameraman, my photographer Nico, and we have Mr. Yotsui on the left and Mr. Ozaki in the driver's seat on the right, and this is us going to the mountain to conduct some interviews and try some famous soba noodles, which I'm rather looking forward to. And we're going to discuss Strider and Cannon Dancer and Pang and the history of Mitchell Core, licensing agreements, all that good stuff. So gentlemen, have you been looking forward to your interview today? Yeah, it's been crazy this morning. Typhoon headed towards Tokyo. Company of errors this morning at the flat. Burnt my finger with a cup of pot of hot coffee all over the kitchen. And then because it was raining, I slipped down the stairs, smashed my elbow on the floor, and fell in the gutter at the same time, so I was soaked by the time I met my coordinator to discuss the rest of the interviews on the trip. Then was late for the train, but it's all falling in place now. Just gotta sit back. You know, you buy the ticket, take the ride. So let's see where the day goes. Okay, we're out of the car, and that's Mount Takao up there. Well, we're sitting here having a nice meal of soba noodles with Mr. Royazaki and Mr. Yotsui. Unfortunately, when I fell down the stairs this morning at my flat, I didn't realize this at the time, but my camera stand, which I had never even used once, was broken. The one leg wouldn't come out, so I went outside and I thought I'd loosen it by hitting it against a stone wall, but unfortunately maybe I loosened it a little bit too much because it's in pieces. Poor thing never even got to be used before it was destroyed. This is not a good day. Making our way to the inn. Well, Dozer, have a look at it, and we can talk about it. It's a port of Pang, the original arcade version, to the ZX Spectrum. The ZX Spectrum is an old British computer. We're going to place Pang for the ZX Spectrum on Mr. Royazaki's game collection shelf here. It's a bit full. Do you mind if I put it in front of other items, or should I just rest them? Oh, I'll slide it. We'll slide it in the bottom here, next to Polarium and Street Fighter 3 for the 03 for the Saturn, and it makes a rather nice addition, I think, to the collection, because obviously you were never sent the British, because the British home computer versions were ported to I think also the Commodore 64 maybe, and the Amstrad, and because Pang was very popular in Europe, especially England, very popular.
was the biggest importer in Germany, and they sold a lot of Pang.
May I have a look at this? This says, for award 1989 Mitchell for Pang. Oh, excellent. That's amazing.
And Nova doesn't exist anymore. This pack is from Capcom, who's selling. See, we are also distributed for Capcom, and this is, I think we sold a lot of Street Fighter boards, and they gave us this.
Here we see the original Strider manga. And also the script. This is the script to the manga itself. Is that correct, Mr. Ozaki? Was this the script from?
原作。
Yeah.
僕と黒川さん。
He and Kurokawa
正彦。
Masahiko.
And sorry, what was this was from Suzuki Bakuhatsu. This is original story designs. or-
Story no design.
あ、これは、これは鈴木爆発をエニックスに持ち込んだ時の。
He brought Suzuki Bakatsu wanted to sell the game.
Oh, right.
Enix, and that's what he brought.
Oh, this is
as a
the.
presentation.
This is very exciting. This is the original concept. This is the original concept document when Mr. Koichi Yotsui brought was pitching the idea for Suzuki Bakuhatsu, detailing how a young woman would find explosives in various places. I notice a trend because there was explosives in Nostalgia 1903 and then explosives in Suzuki Bakuhatsu. Mr. Yotsui obviously likes explosions in his game.
基本的に爆発が好きなんやね。
ノスタルジアがちょっと物語寄りだったので。
And Nostalgia was more story oriented. That's why he wanted more action in this one.
でその中で爆弾の解体のところばっかり取り合わせしてだけ取り出して今週。
それはシェリーなの？
ああ、シェリー。シェリーじゃない。これはシェリーじゃない。これは僕と友の加藤の嫁さんに。
And this is the guidebook explaining how to diffuse various bombs. Something I noticed with I thought was interesting or amusing in Suzuki Bakuhatsu was when you had to save your data to the memory card, a little sign would flash towards the screen, and it would say either push left or right to save, but it would move so quickly sometimes you wouldn't be able to see it in time, and so it was saving itself was a bit of a challenge. I thought that was quite an interesting or amusing little feature.
そういうことが結構面白いと思った。
As you can see here,
ゲームの企画書はさすがに。
Strider, Capcom. This is it, the original design documents. Wow! Check it out. It's a Strider oil painting. That's fantastic.
He likes it. He's good at painting.
Oh, did Mr. Yotsui paint this?
Right.
Wow.
You know what
Come
he
into the shot and.
よいしょ。
ここで写真
いいぞ。あ、そっか写真か。
バター。
バター。
This is a device that they used when they were creating dot art. What's in this photo here? With the martial arts students. Is this when you were?
慰安旅行。カプコンの慰安旅行。
Company trip at Capcom.
Okay, and he has another company trip to the mountains for skiing. I'm not sure if you can see it. This gentleman here, just that one there, hold on, let me get my finger in the shot. That one there is now president of Capcom. You see, Capcom, I contacted Capcom to see if I could visit them, and they explicitly said absolutely no way, which I thought was a little bit unfortunate. They're very reclusive.
The president is like that. That guy there.
And who's this gentleman smoking a cigarette in the chair?
吉本慎一。
What's the story behind everyone practicing martial arts in the water here?
なんでみんな水の中で
知らん、わかんない。でもそういう時代だと思う。
And who is this punching the fire here?
それは僕。
This photo. What's the story behind this photo?
なんでやってんやと。
演舞ですね。これは学祭の時。みんなの前で。
It was an exhibition in front of the other students.
And this photo here is during Mr. Yotsui's student days, when he was creating his student films. He's still got copies of them, but he doesn't feel comfortable showing them just yet.
そのポラロイドはね、宮川和夫カメラマン。
Yeah, you were saying in the Polaroid?
Miyamoto Kazuo is a famous cameraman.
いや、黒沢のカメラ。
He's a cameraman for Kurosawa. You know the movie director Kurosawa.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that guy was a cameraman for Kurosawa.
Awesome. Okay, everyone, I've got a very special treat here. These are game designs by Mr. Koichi Yatsui, which were never actually turned into complete games. So these have never been seen before. So was this a puzzle game or an action game? These are like top secret documents.
No, he probably showed it to Enix or somebody. They didn't want it.
But I mean, it's never been shown to the public before.
Right.
That's incredible. Things like this, I think, are really special, and I don't know if anyone can see this. Hold on, let me... Making or creating these games on like independently or on a portable, like like on the iOS devices or something today. Because have you heard of Keiji Inafude's Mighty No. 9 project on?
No.
He wanted to make another Mega Man game, and Capcom wouldn't let him, so he left and he started Concept, and he put his idea on Kickstarter with a video and images and concept artwork, and he's been funded several $100,000 already, or it might have even reached more than that. But it was. But basically, Kickstarter is where you put your idea on the internet and people will pay you money in advance to make the game, and then afterwards you just send them a copy of it.
But again, Capcom has the rights. How can he pitch a...
He's not pitching Mega Man, he's pitching a game which is similar to Mega Man.
That he could get screwed for.
It's just about within in the realm of the law. So this was an action game.
Capcom is probably getting ready. Capcom's chairman loves to do that.
This is an action game. There is no multiple play, you play by yourself. With easy operation you can enjoy the satisfaction of an action game. Have you shown, I mean, I think people will be really excited to see these concept documents for everyone who I spoke to regarding the book. They always wanted to know, or one of the questions I'm always asked is, which games were never released, and so something like this is pretty awesome.
He says, if this interests you, he's got millions of them at home.
Millions of unreleased game design documents. Really?
ありますよありますよ
Wow!
PC の中とかいっぱい埋まってるよボンボンボンボンって
You should put them all together into a book, and sell it on Amazon. The unused ideas of.
Who's going to buy it?
I'd buy it. I would buy a copy of that.
One is not enough.
My editor Darren Jones would buy a copy as well.
Two copies. So you have 5 minutes each, that's 10.
But the thing is, it doesn't cost anything because if you do print on demand, you don't have to pay any printing costs up front. You just put it together and sell copies as you want to. Is what game is this one? Is this another unreleased game?
So no.
これ
Lots of
は
detailed animation.
これもボツになったゲームで
That's the Untold.
車のゲームでカーアクション
Oh, car action. Oh look, 2 jets coming, Hikoki,
飛行機
and coming towards the car. See all these great ideas which have never turned into a game. That's
ハンドル操作を使わないカーアクションゲームを
And you don't use steering wheels to handle the car.
for arcades, for Game Center, or
Game center.
プレステ2
PlayStation 2.
ライトスティックガーッとするとデンジャーなことをするでレフトスティックをぐるぐるするとセーフティー安全に
What was that?
How to operate the game. Right car,右を
右のスティックをぐるぐる回すとどんどん危険なことでする
お前先ほど言ったの右と左と違う。
あ、ごめん
If you keep turning the left one around, what do you call it?
Left stick, yeah.
And you can go out speed and get into danger zone. Then you keep staying the right one, and you get into safe zone.
Okay. Oh, right, okay. Is this Gojira?
ゴジラじゃないけどまあロボットサメだからジョーズ
Oh, Jaws. Okay. Oh, he's being chased by a shark. That's a car being chased by a shark. I like that. Yeah. There it is, smashing through a building. This is the meal we're eating at the ryokan with Mr. Yatsui and Mr. Ozaki. Fresh fish caught ayu, most likely caught nearby. Amazing. I don't know if you can hear that outside, but there's a typhoon blowing, heavy rain. Just thought I'd give you a tour of the countryside ryokan I stayed at. Lots of wooden objects such as this appear to be carved directly from a tree trunk. At the end of this long corridor is my room. Here is the table where I had dinner with Mr. Yatsui and Mr. Ozaki last night. Green tea over there. And this was my room. Now, according to Mr. Ozaki, this very large guest house was actually used in a very popular, well-known TV drama from many years ago. People of his generation would automatically recognize it. He said, "This is a bit weird. This pillow, it seems to be filled with straw." Not very comfortable, but lovely location, very nice area. More interesting woodwork. And this seems to be a large piece of old wood. Well, that's the tour anyway. Now time to hopefully get some coffee and wake up properly. Here we are at Japan's Skytree Tower, the tallest tower in the world, with Mr. Ryuichi Nishizawa of Westone. And here we are on the final few meters, walking to the Westone offices with Mr. Ryuichi Nishizawa to conduct our interview today on the 17th of September 2013. It's about 20 to 12 in the morning. Quite a warm, sunny day. And here we are coming up to the entrance. Thank you very much. And here we are at the front door to the Westone offices, being invited inside by the company co-founder. Here we are at the Westone offices. We've been granted our own interview room, and here you can see on the shelf they have a collection of various Westone developed games, and also a series of toy models. And there, of course, is the character model from Monster World 4. And so I wanted to bring you a gift which was distinctly British, but would also have special meaning for you. This is for the ZX Spectrum.
これは ZX スペクトラム用になります。
It's a British microcomputer first released in the early 1980s, I believe 1983. So perhaps it's equivalent to the PC 6001 in Japan or other old computers.
で日本で出ていた PC6001 ですとか、それぐらい古いパソコンになります。So, and it's a game for that, you mean?
Yes.
それ用のゲームです。
That would be a loose analog with regards to computers. Interestingly, it comes on a magnetic audio cassette tape.
磁気テープに搭載されてます。保存されてます。
So when you load the game to play it, you have to let the entire tape play through all the data, and it's quite slow to load it into the memory.
こういう商品が出ていることは全く知りませんでしたね。
I didn't know at all that this was marketed.
Okay. I think Sega must have sub-licensed it to Activision in the UK. I have a video on my laptop which we can watch of the game running. Oh no,
Is
wait.
this for emulation?
Oh no, I downloaded a video of YouTube, so it's someone else. A
Yeah.
movie, that's it.
モンスターランドですもんね。
This is the Monsterland
Yes.
game. そうです。
こんな風にして遊んでいる方がいらっしゃったんですね。
I didn't know that there were people playing our games this way.
生まれてないですか？
You weren't even born, were you?
Oh, I was born when Monsterland came out, and the first Famicom game I played was Takahashi Meiji no Boken Jima, which was the Hudson adaptation of Mr. Nishizawa's first game, Wonder Boy. So, in effect, the first game I played was Mr. Nishizawa's game.
なので、西澤さんのゲームが生まれて初めて私にとって遊んだゲームになりました。
光栄でございます。
Very honored.
This is a gift from England. I wanted to bring something which was distinctly British, but which would have a special meaning for you.
おチョコじゃない。
Not chocolates?
Chocolates were yesterday.
チョコじゃない。
昨日はチョコですよ。
あ、そうなんだ。すげえマッチョだ。
Very macho.
It's a Strider for the Commodore 64.
え、これもらっていいの？
The what? The 64?
The Commodore 64.
I keep this? Can I keep this?
Oh yes, yeah, please. That's a.
お土産。
ありがとうございます。
It's the Commodore 64 was a small British microcomputer, and the games came on cassette tape.
すげえ。
イギリスの昔あった小型マイコンなんですね、コモドール64って。そのためのそれで再生するカセットです。
そうなの？違う、そんなこれ何？パソコンに。
This is for a computer?
Yes.
Which year did it take?
The Commodore 64 came out. I'm not sure the exact year. The early 1980s, and the data would be loaded off cassette tape.
これ
カセットからデータをダウンロードするんです。
今見れないよね。
We can. Do we get to see this?
Yes, I've actually got a video on my laptop of Strider on that computer, and also Mr. Nishizawa's games on that computer. We can look at that in a little while, if you like. It's also possible to. Oh, sorry, if you wanted to.
それからは直接は見られないんですけども、動画がネットにありまして、その中身の動画があるので、ストライダーと先ほどもお話ししました西澤さんのゲームもよろしければもう少ししたら動画をはい。And
it's also possible to emulate the old computer games, but I know that's a sensitive subject, and I don't want to offend anyone by necessarily encouraging emulation of all games, unless you're comfortable with the idea.
あとご存知のようにエミュレーションも PC 上でできるんですけれども、結構デリケートな問題なので、積極的にその PC 上のゲームのエミュレーションを私が奨励しているわけでもないのでご希望があればというぐらいにしておきたいと思います。Okay, likewise.
Director's commentary in a film.
メイキングオフみたいな感じでディレクターのつぶやきみたいな感じで入れていただくことは可能です。なんか
20年分のプレイ。
I haven't played in 20 years.
親を懐かしい。
Get nostalgia.
死んだ。
Dead already.
歯車好きだったんだよね。
はい。
歯車。
I like the wheel a lot. I like wheels for a reason.
Curving slopes were also in Strider.
スロープが結構出てきます。
うん。あ、慣れなかったっけ？
I thought I had to throw something here.
一応一面はなんでサイバーパンクにしたんだよね。
This, the first 一面。
ファーストステージ。
The first I used the cyberpunk in the first stage.
I quite like the ocean stage later on.
海のステージ後になって出てくるのは結構個人的には気に入ってます。
あれはね、大魔界村でやろう藤原さんがしようとしてたの。
Mr. Fujiwara wanted to use that in Daimakai 村。
Okay.
ドットで波を打つ。
The waves were going to be drawn with pixels.
それをその部分を途中まで作るのをやってたのかな。
And I think he completed it halfway.
で大魔界村の方でそれが実現しなかった。
But it was abandoned at some point in the Daimakai Mura project.
でやってみようかな。
So I decided to take a shot at the ocean stage, to bring the ocean stage to this game.
この辺のオブジェを自分で打ってる。
I drew those objects myself using pixels.
こういうの人に作らせると、なぜこういう銅像かとか、なんで車があるかとか説明しなきゃいけないんで。
If I ask someone else to draw the objects or background, I have to explain to them why do we need a statue here, why do we need a car here.
自分で打つと理由がいらないじゃないですか。理由がなくても。
But I don't have to
このコントローラ
rationalize
ー丈夫ですか？
if I draw it myself. Now, is this controller strong enough?
How many gamers or writers can say that their controller was broken by the legendary maker of Strider?
ストライダーのその伝説的なクリエイターによって壊されるならこちらも本物ですよ。そんな人はめったにいないと思うので。
Oh, number one is continual.
ひどいゲームだ。
It's a bad game. Let's say that.
I thought it was fantastic, actually.
アホかー。
In interviews, he's described it as being a parody in many ways.
ある意味ではパロディだってインタビューでいろんなインタビューで答えられてるみたいですけども。
そうね。
Could you elaborate on
どういう意味でおっしゃったんですか？
やはり先ほど言ったように特に新しい部分がそんなにないし。
There's nothing new about the game.
いや悪いゲームだってことじゃなくて。
I'm not saying that I'm not saying it's a bad game.
なぜか。忙しいんだね。
When I was at Mr. Ozaki's house, he still had the source code.
こういうの好きだったよな。
This is what I want. 尾崎さんのお宅に伺った時にまだソースコードを取ってらっしゃったんですね。
ほう。
Really?
Yes, I took photographs of the
写真も撮らせていただきました。フロッピーディスクの写真を撮らせていただきました。
and I'd hoped that he'd consider re-releasing this perhaps via a download, or for example on the Wii perhaps, or some other modern system.
Wii ですとか最近のシステムでダウンロード可能な形で再リリースされるといいなと個人的に思ってるんですけども、いかがでしょうか。
どうしたんだって。 ロイに言う。
Tell Roy. Ask Roy.
それで老後の金作れ。
Tell him to prepare for retirement in his old age that way.
If you push C button, you do the special move.
C ボタンを押すと、そのスペシャル
許せん。
な動きで。
よく動くね、プレイヤーね。
The player is pretty agile.
この雑魚がプレイヤーが前に行ったり後ろに行ったりで態度を変えるようにもうちょっと凝りたかったですね。
I really wanted to work more on player attitude, so the attitude changes, shifts as he moves forward or backward. That's what I really wanted to do.
単純に敵を機械的にやってるんじゃなくて、
So I didn't want this to be a mechanical
アホか
combat between the player and the enemies.
アホかボタン押し間違えてるよ。
Push the wrong button.
怖さが出るみたいな、主人公がもう威厳が出るような。
I wanted to dignify the main character,
近づくだけで怯えて逃げようとす
to
る。
make it imposing, to make the player imposing. So in some instances I wanted the enemy to flee as soon as the enemy sees the player.
Thank you very much for the director's commentary.
ありがとうございました。メイキングオフ以上です。
If we had more time, I wish we could go through the whole game. This is breakfast on the way to the Tokyo Game Show. Oh, it's going to be a long day today. Yeah, we're en route to TGS right now. Shane, tired, heading out at 6. Yeah, this is us walking to TGS on the 19th of September. Just making our way there. Yeah, press affiliation, member of the press. Got a queue in line with the other members of the press, and on the right, international media, and we're officially registered as a member of the press. These are various magazines, and these are our press passes with our little business cards. So that's mine. Here we are, TGS 2013. Yeah, this is me totally doing the whole press thing at TGS. Wandering around like the press does. Actually, I'm slightly confused and mildly bored, actually. I wish I could have slept longer this morning. But yeah, we're heading to the Sega booth right now to see what's happening over there. The Xbox stand. I wonder if anyone is interested in that. This is pure gonzo journalism as we wander around TGS.
Yes, 微妙な感覚であるとか、もうちょっとダイナミックな、ゲーム内のアクションであるとかね。
Here's the Sega booth. Oh, yep, and they're showing the latest installment of the Ryu the Kotoku series. Inside that door is, I believe, a preview to the latest Ryuga Kotoku game. But let's be honest, I'm not queuing in this line for over an hour. I've got interviews to do it later on. Okay, we're heading to the Falcom booth, and it suddenly occurs to me that actually attending TGS is kind of pointless. I mean, it's kind of fun to wander around like this, but if you actually have any intention of getting any information or interviewing anyone or playing any games, you're going to end up spending 3 or 4 hours just standing in queues. And if you actually do have appointments like I've got, you haven't got time to stand around in queues. It took me about an hour since getting in here. I went in queue to play Maple Story for a little bit, and then I thought, no, to heck with this. I haven't got time for this. So I cut out of the queue, even though the woman tried to keep me in the queue. and now we're making our way to Falcom. Maybe I'll have about 30 seconds there, and then I need to get going over to somewhere else. Yes, huge and a distinct lack of time. That's how I would define PGM. I don't believe it. I came here to look at Falcom, and this is their entire thing. Some people on stage singing. I am thoroughly disappointed. I recall the days when Falcom was an action RPG developer. I'm standing here today with Mr. Yamamoto of Gameside magazine with my languages issue. We're just having a chat about various games that we like. I wish Gameside, why isn't Gameside published in English?
英語版を出したいの。
I would buy it. Because unfortunately, at the moment, we have to rely on fan translation, so someone would buy the magazine and then they would translate it by hand and put it on the internet. So we do get to read it, but only sometimes, and it's only when someone puts it on the internet. But I want to apologize because that's technically illegal.
それでも違法だから僕は謝りたいって。
でもゲームサイドを読みたいと思ってくれることが嬉しいです。
Well, even it's illegal, like we are happy that you really want to read game site. Okay.
Thank you very much for meeting me. Just had an interview with Mr. Kobayashi, producer at Sony, producer on the original Ico, plus the gentleman responsible for shifting Ico from PS1 to PS2 and Gravity Days from the PS3 to the PSP Vita, which I find interesting. Interesting chap, involved in games for quite a while in a producer fashion. It was a good interview. Traveled all the way to Saitama to meet a classic video game salesman.
My name is Takayuki Komabayashi and I'm working in this shop, Maicon Shopee, for about 1 year.
In Saitama.
In Saitama, yeah. I'm mainly selling and buying old PC games such as MSX, PC88, PC98, X1, FM7 and so on. I like PC games such as Texas.
Oh, Dexter. Every classic game. Game.
I like this game so much. And the game now I've been looking for ages is this game, Recapture.
Fantastic.
So, FM7's adventure game. And this game is so like funny
and very difficult.
Very difficult and very rare.
Very rare.
Very difficult to find too.
To find and get.
But you finally acquired a copy. Was this difficult?
No, this is a copy I brought today.
Okay.
Because the manual is needed if
in order to play it.
Wants to complete it.
This is a manual, like American comic.
Oh, fantastic. Give it a quick flick through. Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Well, actually, it's quite a comical.
Comical game. Because the man made a drug, which is for men.
Difficult to explain.
What I say?
It's like the pill, but not for women, for men.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. If you drink this drug, the women never pregnant.
Oh, I understand what you're saying.
But another company just
stole the like menu of this drug, and the player have to recapture the
recover,
file
yes,
from the enemy's other company.
Okay. Oh, it's like kind
so
of
you have to sneak in the company.
corporate espionage
yes,
kind of
yes,
thing.
Yes.
At a rough value, how much would you say that that's worth complete with everything together?
It's not really a question of money, but yes, it's expensive anyway. I would say like 70,000 yens or maybe more. But anyway, really not a question of money. Even if you have the money, it's quite difficult to find.
It's not something. It's not. You can't just replace it on a whim. It's finding it first. And
Yes.
It's very hard to find.
how many copies do you think were made originally?
Not so much, like a few.
Thousand.
Yeah, a few thousand only. Or so maybe there are only a few left. Maybe like 20 around Japan.
Wow.
Yes.
Well, that would be in the world, really, actually, because
Of course.
Describe what you're holding in your hands there.
Yeah, it's a certification. It's a gift you get from the company when you were able to complete the game. So you had to take a screenshot of the ending screen, send it to the company, and then you get this card. 88 games that this company bought a few weeks ago, and they're going to put them on auctions. And they're all very rare stuff, only tape games.
Tape games.
Yes, for example, this one is from Takara Phoenix, different from Enix. It's a joint between a company called Takara and Enix, so it's called Takara Phoenix. And those are really, really hard to find.
And you want to be careful with the tape games because obviously the tapes are constantly biodegrading.
Yes, but not as fast as floppy disks.
Are floppy disks worse for breakdown?
Yes. And oh yes, this is old Enix tape games.
Wow. I wonder if any of...
This one also is a third version of Mugen no Shinzo, which is one of the first Japanese RPG for
fantastic.
in Japan.
Let's have a look at the back. Does it have any photo images on the back?
Dragon Quest also was inspired by this series, Mugen no Shinzo. So it's a very important piece of history.
Fantastic. And the copy that you're buying today, does that come with everything inside it? Is it complete?
I think it.
Yeah, this classic one. We did a blog entry on this. You said that you had to, the cover, you had to restore the cover.
Yes, this one is pretty clean.
This must
I
be
don't think I'll be able to get it when it goes on sales on Yahoo auctions because it will be too expensive.
At a rough guess, how much would you say this would go for?
I would say at least 130,000
yen.
Yes.
Wow.
Well, it's not so much compared to those crazy prices for consumer and arcade, but for a PC game, it's really, really expensive.
Well, I think in general that is a considerable amount.
I don't know. Maybe we can have a surprise. Maybe it will go. It will go like to 200,000, maybe.
200,000.
Possibly.
That's
It's
very high.
really, really, really hard to find it, and it's Falcom.
Now, I didn't bring my calculator with me. 200,000 yen divided by 150 for British pounds.
1,700 euros.
1,700 euros. Oh, is this loading it up? Excellent. Let's have a look at this.
This game is only basic. That's why it's really, really slow to start.
Oh, excellent. Yeah. Does Kia-san have a copy of this himself?
He has a brand new one he never opened. I heard. He has one copy of all his games in brand new condition.
I always think it's a little bit sad when you interview some people and they say they didn't keep any of their games at all. Like, you know, Manabu Yamana?
Yes?
He made a series of PC-88 games, I think Rambo and a space game on the MSX, and he didn't keep any of them.
Oh.
It's quite funny.
Yeah. whatever you do, at first you have to fail in a trap.
Oh, that's the. It's
Yeah.
mandatory.
So when you
Oh,
play
there.
with the emulator, it's
It speeds everything up.
yes. You just wait 2-3 seconds.
7とかじゃないですか。あ、落ちた。
Oh, there he is. Oh.
どちらに落ちてしまった。
So you can try to
J
jump, but
You need
usually yes, you need power, so you have to
Crack.
to call.
Oh, and someone will come and help you
Yes.
get out.
シーンが You have to press C for cry.
Because yes, if you keep
to-
jumping, you will lose your strength. Okay. Hope we won't. Oh,
Is this a random battle?
so you can talk maybe.
必要なことない。
Ah.
Oh, is this a battle?
Yeah.
Wow. We lost. We lost money. Again. I forgot there are so many commands you can use.
F for fight. あ間違えた。
Or is F to flee?
Yeah, sometimes you can talk and be
A
friends.
for attack, C for cry, E for escape, F for food, G for give, I for inventory, J for jump.
He has a banana tree.
Yeah, but I think we need some special item or kick, yes. Oh yes, kick. Good. Got bananas. Again. Talk. Which one is talk? T?
Yeah, T. When you drop the hole, please use ladder.
Okay, so we have to go to town again. Okay. Oh!
What happened there?
Hit by cherries.
Oh, lost health.
Yes. He lost power.
Okay. So
I
this is a difficult part because we
push
need
F to eat food.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that.
How many?
How much?
Like
Okay.
Xanadu.
Yeah, that restored some of your power.
How many? 9.
Oh,
If
excellent.
you get many power.
Okay, so now we have to cross the sea, and this is
There is
quite
no boat
difficult,
if you
so-
swim.
we can swim, but you rarely. Maybe we can do it. Maybe not. Maybe. Oh. Ah! Almost.
Ship helps you
Oh.
drop 11 money.
Have you ever completed this game?
No.
I think it will take ages to clear.
No. I won't do it. Well, you can go all the way, or sometimes you can pay to use a boat. You can.
It's
freely-
filled with a lot of
Yes,
options to,
yes,
to
and
progress.
when you can go to the first town, there are many equipments you can buy, and then you can start exploring dungeons. For just a basic game, it's quite impressive.
There's a lot of detail in it, yes.
Many things to do. That's it. That's Panorama Tow.
Awesome, thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Takayuki Komabayashi. I like Drucky and X68000 and Zoom. I will introduce to like how many games we have. Like here we have PC 88 games. like Dragon Slayer. And Xanadu. And Space Harrier for PC-88 is there. And here we also have PC-88 games like Sorcerian.
And Snatcher.
Snatcher, yes. And Misty Blue, this is like Yuzo Koshiro's music game. Sounds great. And we have FM7, 77AD and FM Towns game. Half of them are like hentai games.
Hentai games. Alright, wakarimasu.
Then here we have MSX. Many Konami's game because I like Konami games.
Metal Gear 2, Parodius.
So this, like Snatcher and SD Snatcher.
SD Snatcher, classic games.
Games. Yeah, Castlevania.
Ah, Dracula X.
And Gladius. Then here we have many X68 games. Like, of course, Dracula and Denpa My Console's game like Postconian, Gameplay Tournament, Afterburner, Space Harrier, and Final Fight.
This is Genpa Tomiden?
Yeah, Gameplay Tournament.
Oh yeah.
And like Ghost and Go,
Oh yeah, Makamura.
Dai Makamura. This is great game. And we have many computers, all originals and all works. Because we can check the games and we can say these are playable games. PC 8801 Mark II SL, PC 6601, X1, MZ 2500, X1000, X68000, and PC 88 and so many.
Lots of computers.
FM778040s, FM7 and original floppy disk drive.
Yes, so you need this to play Recapture
Ah, okay.
with the additional board.
Yeah, we need FM7, this PCB and this floppy drive.
Which is harder than, heavier than the computer itself.
And we have those PC-88 games, many. Like Xanadu, Scenario 2. This is one I like, Texas 2.
Firehawk.
And of course we have Jesus.
Oh yes, the classic adventure game.
Jesus. あと何かありますかね買いますよ。
Libido 7.
Yeah, hentai game.
Yes, that looks a little bit risque. Okay, soft porn adventure, the original has no graphics, yeah?
Yes, and it's like a beta version of Leisure Suit Larry, right?
Yeah, that's true.
And this is a Japanese version of soft porn adventure by StarCraft. So it's different name. It's called Las Vegas, and this one has graphics. But in fact, it's soft porn adventure. Only a few people knows that. So.
Wow, so it's basically the original with added graphics for the Japanese market.
Yes. Unfortunately, it didn't sell well. So it's quite a rare piece. This is like retro hentai.
Retro hentai.
面白い。レトロhentai面白い。名言集あったら入れてきますよ。レトロ変態っていう。
Retro hentai.
And is there a collector's market for that?
Yeah, sure. I collect myself this kind of retro hentai.
カセットテープ。
Retro adult game.
Okay.
called Macadam. It's from Debisoft actually. But
Macadamia soft.
yes, they are using a different label called Macadamia Softo.
Okay, let's see the front cover.
Another age.
でこうなってしまう。
And it becomes this kind of girl game.
Okay, so it's shifted over time.
Yes.
The style of girl game has
Yes.
changed.
This is mostly kind of soft pornographic, not pornographic, just soft ecchi.
Okay.
And this is like anime.
Oh, the art style and everything
Yes,
else has changed.
this kind of games, there is still a link between the game and the reality.
Reality.
Not this one.
No.
That's the difference.
And why do you think there was this shift?
Because many people likes anime. Many PC user likes anime.
Yeah, look, this is reality.
Yeah, this is a photograph. Yeah, I mean it's a photograph versus an anime drawing.
Yes.
I don't know if you can see this, but this is the Mario Bros. Special game for the PC-88, developed by Hudson. Arguably better than the original Mario Bros. Actually, if we're being honest.
Oh.
Notice how the gameplay changes between every level. This first one, you're jumping between these moving holes. What I've always been interested in is, you know, Super Mario Bros.
Yeah.
Special.
Yeah, like Pitfall.
Yeah, how come they changed the design so much?
Like since the PC-88 cannot scroll well, and there are no power.
No power.
Yeah. You must smash keyboard. Like destroy all of them.
And love for retro gaming too.
Yes. Yeah, we're just playing the original PC-88 version of Space Harrier.
Sounds the same, I guess. But difficult. Really hard to do.
早く倒さないやばいことになる。
こんな難しい。
わあ。早く倒さないと。
ああ、倒した。
Hey, well done. And this is it. The sales warehouse, items being packed, corridors and boxes of classic video games stacked quite literally up to the ceiling. Famicom Twins, stacked 3 high. Unbelievable. Seem to have got myself trapped in a very narrow corridor here. Sega. My God, it's a pile of core graphics systems and PC engines, just piled high. Yep. Famicom disk systems. Sorry, please introduce yourself for our viewers.
そういうだから日本語で自己紹介自由にやってください。
はい、ゲームの本のコレクターの松原圭吾と申します。
And Joseph says that he'd be very surprised if we could name a book and we wouldn't be able to find it very quickly. Let's see, does he have the guidebook for Super Monkey Daiboken on the Famicom?
Oh, it was...
That was about 6 seconds. That was unbelievably quick. And we didn't even plan it like that. That was
Yeah,
just
no preparation. Amazing.
fantastic, because I believe
Just standing in front of it.
it must have been fate. Because I'll be interviewing the author of this, Mr. Hidenori Shibao. He made the Lennis RPG. We're commencing with a video tour here. Joseph will be our interpreting.
These 2 rooms are full of game books. It's dedicated only to game books.
Guidebooks, fiction books as well, or just guidebooks?
It's almost official guidebooks.
Almost all official guidebooks. Can I just let's randomly have a look at this one.
Yokaido Chuki.
And how long did it take him to collect everything that he owns? How long has he been collecting for, in fact?
When he was in high school, so it's almost 15
年近くですね。
It took him 15 years to... So, typical Japanese house.
A magazine dedicated exclusively to erotic video games.
With bonus CDs.
With bonus CDs. I would say this is probably the biggest collection in Japan then of books and magazines.
Not the biggest collection of books, I think so. But magazines, no. For example, myself, I also have like 3,500 magazines.
Wow.
But only PC.
Only
magazines.
PC-themed magazines.
And I think that Matsubara-san has consumer magazines. So
you mean home consoles?
We have a different collection. But I have almost no books. So yes.
So what are these rather large books here?
This is called the Daigirin and Kogien, which are very famous books about how do you say tips and tricks?
Tips?
Yes, in games.
Oh, so does each single book contain a variety of tips in it?
It's tips for all systems at this time.
Oh, all systems at the time?
Yes.
Any pictures, or is it mainly...
No, only text.
Oh, quite a text-heavy book then.
And the last edition was given with a CD, digital database. This was the last edition. And there is an online edition now, so no more paper.
Oh, sorry, please carry on with the...
So, the most difficult is to know what exists. So he spent not only time to buy the books, but also to compile a huge database of books. So he knows precisely exactly how many books were released and what's still missing today.
Anyway, for the first time I've just discovered Phantasy Star. And the thing that occurs to me is that Japanese guidebooks, sorry, could you just briefly flick through it, are so beautifully designed, full color, really, really detailed. I mean, books like these I don't think were even really sold in England, for example, and you had to buy a magazine to get the tips. And the magazines, were cheaply printed. They weren't as nicely detailed as this. This is almost as wonderful as owning the game itself. It's a beautiful item to have, nicely bound, artwork, nicely designed.
But also game book market was a really huge market. It's CD Corner.
Oh, right. Wow.
So he has, I didn't mention, and he didn't mention too, but he has a huge collection of game soundtracks.
How many CDs would you say he has?
CD は何枚ですか？
6000枚は超えてたんですけど、
Wow.
ただ販売してた CD と、あとこういうやつですね、ゲームのおまけだった CD を
So
どう分けるかで。
yes, this is like omake, so something you get when you buy the game. So if you include everything, like omake and this kind of extra stuff and regular CDs, it's like 6,000.
6,000 music CDs. And has he listened to every music CD?
Sure, sure. And there is also a database for everything.
Given how many books he has, do people, let's say, who require a piece of information but they can't find a rare book, do they ask him to provide scans or to lend them the magazine? I mean, is he available as someone
I think he is, but he's not so famous yet.
Oh, he will be after the DVD.
I hope so. As he's a member of the Game Preservation Society, I think he's okay to make his collection available if people are looking for some piece of information.
Because this is such an amazing reference library. I'm sure, like, my impression is that he could set up some kind of library and people would...
We'd like to, together. I don't know the name in English. It's books where you are the hero of the adventure and you have choices.
Oh, like turn to page, this page or that page?
Yes, how do you call that kind of book? Adventure book?
Yeah, choose your own adventure books.
Yes, yes. So this is not translations. It's only for the Japanese market.
Does he have a... Because I believe there is a Metal Gear adventure book. Because I remember quite a while ago, it was on... there was one on, I think, eBay or Yahoo Auctions.
Yes.
And people wanted to buy it because it was quite rare. So
Sure.
personally, I'm very curious to... let's just turn the lighting down. Turn it off for a second.
What does it say that you are
5 minutes, one... Oh, how long is...
memory? No?
No. I've got 24 minutes on this shot left. There, yeah, this is the one. This is the one we saw on the internet auction.
And it's with the obi?
No, there was no obi on the internet
Yes,
auction.
this one has the obi. What American people call spine.
Oh yeah,
card.
spine card. Could you flip through it? This is this could be a world first. I don't recall ever seeing. Oh, look at profiles of the main characters. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, so like for example, oh yeah. So could you try? Oh yeah, it's asking you which of these two decisions you'd make.
What do you want to do? Go east or go west? And
So go east, turn to page 23. Go west, turn to
Yes.
page 6.
Oh, it's not page. It's chapter.
Oh,
actually,
chapter,
yes.
chapter.
So
I wonder if anybody would have the patience or the time to fan
to
translate it.
wow.
Yeah.
Maybe
Let's get a shot of that
if it's
artwork.
preserved, maybe in 50 years.
Because I'm just thinking this could be. Imagine if somebody updated something like. Imagine if Konami, for example, translated this and updated it. I mean, this would be quite a collector's piece. I'm sure fans, Metal Gear fans, would love to.
Sure.
That's great. Thank you. Arigato gozaimasu.
Told me that when he found it, it was the first time he could see it himself. So he was amazed to.
Oh, to discover the
Yes,
Metal Gear book.
Yes.
It was the same, like when we stumbled across it on Yahoo Auctions, we thought, oh, it must be just a guidebook. And then someone was like, actually, no, it's an adventure book. And people were like,
Yes.
wow, you know, it's,
Yes,
they didn't even know about it. Sorry, please continue with the tour.
This is the first room you entered. But I think you didn't.
I didn't film it.
Yes.
Wow. Does he do anything in particular to keep them preserved, for example, with dehumidifiers or...
I think because it's typical Japanese house, this is quite difficult. It's cold in winter, it's hot in summer. So this is not really a good place to keep books, but we hope that it's a temporary situation.
I mean, it would be tragic if the value contained within everything he's collected here were to slowly be consumed by the weather.
So the value is not only the collection, right? It's a terrific collection, but the value is also the information within books.
Exactly, and if these are books which are rare to get hold of, you know, you never know when you'd be able to get hold of them again. What would he say is the rarest or most valuable or most treasured of his collection?
The one?
Yes, the one.
Several.
Or several, or two or three.
Yeah, we agree that this is the most, not the rarest book, but the most important. I think you saw it also at the Preservation Society in the entrance. It's a book about game history. It's pretty old actually. It was written in 88 maybe, and also it was written in the 80s. It's really huge contents about all the games released before this date, not only in Japan but also United States and in England.
Wow, the paging is interesting.
Yes, it's interesting. So you have information about companies on the top. You have information about people in the middle, and then information about games here.
Wow. And what is the name of this this book?
This is, can you read it?
Terebi Gamer? On the... I'm not sure what the kanji in the at the top center there is.
これなんと読みますか?
電子遊戯大全。
Yes, so Denshi, I'm not sure about the translation, but when you this is old writing. Denshi これビデオゲームですよね。簡単に言うと。Yeah, so Denshi Yugi is a Japanese name. No one use it anymore, but this is Japanese name to say video games simply. So and we they had also the word for video games, which was simply telebi game. Now we say just game. In Japan.
Let's have a look through this a little bit more. I mean,
Sure.
I'll probably never have the opportunity to.
Well, it's quite an expensive book now if you want to buy it. But still you can find it.
Oh, it is.
Yes.
It is available if you
Yes.
look hard enough.
Yes.
It's a shame nothing quite like this exists
So
in English.
it's like really a database.
Sorry, who are those two people there?
Oh, it's Ken and Roberta Williams.
Oh wow, there's. Now you know that this book is comprehensive.
So we all agree that today we need that kind of book, but not for 10 years of history, but for the last 40 years.
Exactly.
So this is not a rare piece, but very important, and maybe the best example of what should be done about game history.
Historically valuable.
Yes. Because it's covering almost everything from arcade to consumers and also, of course, PC games. This is the very first game book in Japan, released in Japan, about Space Invader.
For invaders. So many people who I've spoken to, I often ask, what's the first game you played? And they often say Invader. Almost, I'd say, maybe 8 out of 10.
So this is the very first game book released in Japan.
あとは何かありますか？予約付きのものといえばいろいろあるんですけど、どうでしょうか？100円の
Oh wow, wow. A little 100 yen with maps and stuff.
One dollar game book.
Fantastic.
開いていく。
Oh, and it folds out. Awesome.
So even
Oh, that's amazing.
even
Look,
kids
it's got maps.
who had money to buy candies, they could buy it.
Well, that's the way to guarantee a lot of sales is make it affordable.
That's pretty cool. I didn't know this one.
Well, this is beautiful, actually.
Yes.
This has got the entire layout.
Yes.
I remember I once wrote an article on Mario Brothers for the Game Boy, and I had the designer lay the entire first stage out along the bottom. But I love looking through old magazines, and when they would take photographs of each of the television screens and then paste them together into these giant maps. If you're a fan of the Mother or Earthbound series, this segment is for you.
なんか攻略本にしかないコンテンツ、なんかインタビューとか
それはね、
ってありますか？
多分これがそうなんじゃないか。副読本。これは糸井さんエイプが作った。これが特殊な本ですね。
So, but usually all books are sharing almost the same information, just a different layout, except for this one, which is an encyclopedia. So there is a lot of original information.
Oh, right. Wonderful. Nice photography as well.
Yes.
In there. Is there anything further rooms to explore?
Yes, there is another room this way.
To the
On the left and then on your right. But there is stuff almost
wow.
everywhere. So there is that impressive pile of posters here.
Just posters.
Yes.
Oh, and Super Famicom games. Oh, Gambare Goemon. And East. I love the little boxes the Japanese Game Boy games come in.
Super Famicom games and magazines like Computec.
So what's the year of this? 1998, July.
Mixed with games. Here it's Magical Chess for PC Engine. 2 versions.
And what are the difference? Just reprints or?
Yes, reprint but by a different company because the original one was not widely available, but the company Palsoft went bankrupt, and then another company reprinted.
Okay. Oh, lots of Sega Mark III games as well. So what are some of his favorite games?
It's kind of simulation game, but not only. 何かアドベンチャーみたいなところもありますか？
あります。
何桜大戦みたいなやつ？
Oh, the Horde.
Yeah, it looks
Tower
like
defense.
yes, it's like a kind of tower defense game. So you're building a dungeon, and like SimCity, and then enemies are coming to the dungeon, so you have to protect it.
And it's called Cow Seed.
House.
Might be a little bit noisy, but we're currently looking at the Data East cassette system.
Yes, so to run a deco cassette game, you need this microtape. Actually, it's not microtape; it's kind of very small tape, and then you need to put a protection dongle too.
And how many working models are there?
Sorry?
How many working models of deco cassette unit are there?
This is the very first model, and there are 40 around 45 games for this system.
How many working units?
Working unit, only a few actually, and this is the only one running in a game center in Japan, the last one.
So, if the game is loaded off a cassette tape, how long does it take for it to load the data into memory?
We're going to load a game now, so you can see by yourself. It's about, I think, between 1 and 2 minutes.
Are there any games which have been lost forever because the tapes have corroded?
No, we manage at the society to preserve all cassette tapes existing for this system, but we are lacking a few ROMs to make run one game only, so one game is lost.
Which game is that?
The game is called Explorer, and it's same system as Treasure Island. So you need the tape, but also you need graphic ROMs, and we don't have these ROMs. So it's a very rare game. No one has never seen it.
So chances are it's lost forever to history.
Maybe not. If we have enough luck, maybe we'll be able to find the ROMs later. Priority was the cassette tape. We are in Akihabara in Natsuge Museum. It's an arcade center who is running only old games on original cabinets and original cocktail table cabinets. And now we are looking at Dataist cassette system, and we've just started a game called Zeroise, and Zeroise I think was released around 84. At same time Namco released Motos. So it's similar to Motos. Some people say it's a copy of Motos, but actually it was released before Motos. So maybe Motos is a copy of Zeroise. And we'll ask someone called QTQ, which is an arcade pro gamer of all games, to play for us Zeroise. So to complete the stage, you have to dash into enemies and throw them in holes or walls. Deco cassette system has only little memory, so there is only a few stages, and then it's cycling always the same stages, but the game is very enjoyable. Playability is good. I heard that it was released by Dataist, but it was developed by Technos Japan.
Oh, Technos?
Yes.
So this game is about nearly 30 years old?
Yes.
And it's running on the only Deco cassette system still functioning in a game center?
In a game center, yes. And they will keep it only for a few weeks because it's a very fragile system. So maybe this is the last time we can see it here. This is a bonus stage.
Describe to me what QTQ does. What is he famous for?
He's been playing arcade games for a very long time, and he's called what in Japan about this kind of people we call them scholar. And when a new game is available, we are trying to get the best possible score on this game. So they know all little tricks, bugs, everything, best timing to get the best score.
That must make it very difficult to practice.
Yes, it is. So this is stage 4. If I remember well, I think after stage 4 it's cycling back to first stage. but difficulty is increasing.
So in a way, the system is almost like those early home computers, the microcomputers which would load data off a cassette and then would just hold it in memory the entire time.
It looks like, but in fact it's a bit different. It's not exactly the same tapes, and in fact the tape is used as a copy protection, but also it's convenient because you can switch easily to another game. But it's a very old system. It was released in 1980. So to be honest, in 1984, this system was getting old.
Is this the last game that was released for it?
No, it's not. There is a number for each game, and I don't remember well, but I think that 0 is around 30 something.
Can you describe some of the other games that were available for the system?
Okay, well-known games for the Deco cassette systems are Burger Time and Burning Rubber, and also the Pro series, like Pro Soccer, Pro Tennis, Pro Bowling, and Pro Golf. But there are also some very mysterious, I would say legendary games, such as Manhattan, which is very early game for the system. So, but they were released in Manhattan was released in 1980. December of 1980, and at this time it was really impressive game with a nice scrolling and good playability. So this system is here at Natsuge Museum for almost a year, and they change games every month. So during 1 year you were able to enjoy most best games for this system. Unfortunately, we are coming to the end. And all games were preserved and repaired because they were all broken. I think it's interesting to look at his hands because it's very you see the table is very low, so it's very hard to reach the buttons. So this is how people used to play games at this time. It looks difficult, but they're used to. Abroad, out of Japan, in Europe and United States, you didn't see this very often, this kind of table cabinet.
We're sitting here today with Mr. Michitaka Tsuruta, the creator of the original Bomb Jack and Solomon's Key and Solomon's Key 2, also known as Fire and Ice. And we're about to be shown some original design documents for Solomon Nokagi.
Yes. 初期の頃のデザインで実際には業務用アーケード版を作ってる時にその準備として書いたスケッチです。
And these would then later be converted into pixel art. Could you describe the process of creating the pixel artwork?
テクモ閉館の頃に専用のドット絵を描くツールがあってリピューターというんですけれどもで、ライトペンを使ってブラウン管上にこう点を置いていくシステムでデザイナーは元絵を見ながらそれにこう色を選んで 16×16 のマス目を埋めていくというやり方です。そうですね。これの設定だと、これが16ドットでこれが10から12ドットの袋。この辺はもうだいぶ実際に作られたものに近いで業務用の方は背景画をどういうふうにするかというのがかなり試行錯誤があったのでその元絵を何枚か描いたうちの一つです。48 dots size.
I've heard from many developers at the time, it's always a challenge to create beautiful artwork because not only the limited pixel size, but also the limited colors available to use. And we're here today at the house of the legendary Yuzo Koshiro. This is actually his new office, and I'll be interviewing him in just a moment. We're here today with the legendary Yuzo Koshiro in his in his office, his workroom here, and we're just about to be given a bit of a tour, one of his original Dojin games from back in the day for the PC-88. What is the name of this game, Mr. Koshiro?
Variant 7 って書いてます。うわ、やばい。難しくて。
So this is a variant 7 and it's really difficult.
これ結局作ったんですけど出してないんですよ。
I made this game but I never released it.
So this is something of a world exclusive then?
Yes.
Could we have a listen to the music? Is there audio for this?
こちらは音楽もありますか?
Oh, is that a secret weapon?
Cheating.
大丈夫です。As Mr. Koshiro explained a moment ago, a few years ago, he asked one of his friends to convert the data on the discs which contained these games into a format that would work in an emulator, because as he states, the PC-88 and its discs are likely to degrade and break down, and so this way, even if the original discs are lost or the hardware breaks, he still has copies of his older work.
この後ね、コピー曲が流れるんですよ。
And then after this, we have some copy music.
だからちょっと聞かせられない。
So I can't let you listen to
Oh,
that.
I understand. I was speaking to a few developers, and because it was a different time back in the 1980s, games would sometimes have music which was very similar to commercial music, but there was no license for it.
Yes, and this was a Dojin game, and also the manufacturers were not very strict at that time. But in this game, we used some music from an actual shooting game, but I never sold this game, so it was okay at that time.
Don't worry, your secret's safe with me.
秘密は守ります。
まあでも流してないんで大丈夫。
But it's okay because I don't have it on right now. I don't have the music on right now.
That's amazing. So tell me a little bit about this.
いや、私もよく覚えて。
I don't remember too well.
ちょっと今や。
Let me play it a bit.
Can we listen to the music as well, or is it... Ushi desu ka?
牛ですね。
すごいですね。It's amazing. What year was this? 何年ですか？
何年？わからないですけど、スキームが出てすぐ後だと思うんですけど。
I don't remember exactly what year. I think it was shortly after the Steam was released.
And you composed the music. Would I be allowed to, for example, use this track on the DVD?
あ、いいです。でもどうやって
course, I'm sorry that my memory is really fuzzy about a lot of things, but I actually did not make the music for Bare Knuckle 3 or 4. So there was the music for Bare Knuckle 4 does not exist. However, the plan for the game did exist, and at that time it was not Sega Saturn, but it was Dreamcast. The Bare Knuckle 4 was to be released on Dreamcast, and we created a prototype for it. And it wasn't something where you could play the game, but it was rather something where it showed you how the game would look like. So there was the choice between 2D and 3D, and we decided to go with 3D. And it was something where it was 3D and you could run around in the city and talk to people. So we created a prototype, but it was turned down. And the reason for it being turned down was not very good. But we were the ones who brought in the plan, and they were actually somewhat enthusiastic about it. But we were told that by Sega of America that it was turned down, and Bare Knuckle was really popular in the US, but it wasn't so popular in Japan, and we really couldn't expect it to sell well in Japan. And Sega of America decided to turn it down because it was almost 10 years since Bare Knuckle was first released, and there was no one in Sega of America who could really understand the appeal of Bare Knuckle. So, in other words, there was no one in Sega of America who could make the decision on whether or not our version was good or not. So that was basically the reason why it was turned down.
Here we are at Hachioji campus, going to meet Professor Kishimoto, creator of Pac-Land, Baraduke, and that rather funky Star Wars game on the Famicom system.
We will Toy Pop. Toy Pop was
Do you know a game called Sheriff by Nintendo?
Oh yes, yeah.
Gunman in the middle.
敵が近づいてくる。
And the enemies are approaching.
あのゲームを作りたかっ
That's the game I wanted to make.
た。で、スペースアラモっていうタイトルで、
Under the title Space Alamo.
Okay.
別の惑星
On a
に
different planet.
着陸するんだけど、宇宙人
Or spacemen or aliens would lurk around and then they would attack you. That's the game I came up with.
さっき言ったみたいに、
So, like I was saying, the planner division and the programmers division didn't get along.
プラン
The
ナー
planners would say, make the game exactly as we tell you to the programmer.
だけど私は言うこと聞かなかったの
But I didn't listen to them.
で、そういうゲームが作りたいって言って、
So I said, this is the game I want to make.
アルファ版まで作ったんだけど、
And we proceeded as far as the alpha version.
だけどこれ面白くないってボツにされたのね。
But they said this game is no fun, and they just scrapped the idea.
で、その後
And what came after that was Toy Pop. It was like a fairy tale kind of cute kind of game.
で、狙ったのは、
The target players were those that came to the arcade as couples.
で、ゲームを
So the two would start playing the game, but it's actually a difficult game to play, so the girl would end up dying before the man does. So we expected the man to keep paying to have the girl continue playing, so we thought it would make a lucrative game.
When you mentioned that your original idea didn't make it through to the final game, were there a lot of unreleased games or a lot of partially finished games? Can you tell me about some of these?
覚えてるのはそれぐらい。でも、
As far as the games that I was involved are concerned, those are the only ones, or the one that I mentioned is the only one that I could think of.
You've been involved with a lot of games over your career. Do you have a particular favorite, or do any of them have a special meaning for you?
Pac-Man as well. That was the first ever game I made, first ever arcade game that I ever made. So I have special feelings for that as well.
Please tell me about your work as a at this university as a lecturer. How did you start? What motivated you to start? And what does it involve?
具体的にどんなことをされてるんでしょうか。
まず声っていう会社。
I quit the company called Koei in 2010. Koei is a company that makes games like Dynasty Warriors. After that, I did homestay for 6 months in New Zealand. The reason for that is because I wanted to give a presentation on the game, on my own games. So when I came back to Japan, I started looking for jobs where I would be teaching about games.
で今に至る。
Then here I am now.
And you discuss game design and structure with your students?
ゲームデザインだとかゲームのストラクチャーについて学生と話をしたりする。
しますね。はい。ゲームデザイン、ゲームプロデューシング、ゲームの作り方、
ゲームプロデューシング how to make a game.
あとゲーミフィケーション。
Gamification.
Gamification. Did you want to comment on why you left Namco?
なぜナムコを辞めたのかということについてはコメントいただけますか。
あ、リストラされた。なんて。
I was subject to restructuring. I was made redundant.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I'm sorry to gather.
知りませんでした。
When was this?
When I was 39 years old. I was subject to restructuring or redundancy at Koei as well.
Oh, right. Okay.
But that's something I can talk to my students about.
なぜならば彼らは
The students think that since I'm a famous game creator and I'm a lecturer at the university, I must have succeeded in everything I did in my life. But I will tell my students this is the kind of hard times that I have to go through.
Why is Namco so reluctant to have the names of its creators out there? For example, everybody knows Masanobu Endo created Xevious, but why would they not want people to know that Shinichiro Okamoto was a planner at Namco?
本当ね、ビジネスにならないからだと思います。
Because it's not good business for them, or it doesn't turn into any business for Namco.
なんですけど、
When you are unofficially hired by Namco, you haven't joined the company officially yet, but if they make a decision to hire you, then Namco would send you a copy of this book called Playing Human Beings.
全然難しくて全然わけは。
And you read it, but it's very, very difficult to read. It's very academic and it's very difficult to understand.
ゲーム遊びっていうものは多分彼は素晴らしいもんだと思ってたんだと。
I think in his mind, in Mr. Nakamura's mind, the game is something that we were making not because it makes money, but simply because games were something that was just entirely wonderful.
What a fantastic philosophy to have.